Who should go to Monday Night Raw? Who should go to SmackDown Live? All coming up on Defy WWE Logic.
I'm not finished with you!
Welcome back. I'm going to be discussing who should be drafted to SmackDown Live, who should be drafted or traded to Monday Night Raw. First, I will be talking about the tag teams because it's a short list and it's not that long. We're going to talk about that first. Then after that, we will be talking about individual superstars who should go to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to talk about who should be called up from NXT because I know some of you may be thinking I'm crazy, but I actually don't watch NXT. I probably should, and let me know in the comment section down below if you think I should, because I actually haven't watched NXT, I think since like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn been there. So maybe I'm pretty sure I'm probably missing out on some great feuds. If so, please let me know and I'll probably check that out. Now, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, for the tag team division on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, it's becoming stale. And yes, I know that Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, they're causing the tag team division to be a little bit interesting because of Bray Wyatt being woken and things of that nature. They may end up even going on to win the Raw Tag Team Championships, but it's still stale. The tag team division is still stale and a little bit boring. So here are my picks for who should go to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. We're going to switch back and forth. Who should go to Monday Night Raw as a tag team? The Usos. Now, the Usos, they have indeed locked down every single tag team. They had a great promo talking about how they're locking down everybody, having great classic matches with the New Day. And that is true. They have had great matches with the New Day. And I think it's about time that the Usos move on to Monday Night Raw. I don't think the Usos have been on Monday Night Raw since the brand split happened. That was about about 2-3 years ago. So I do think the Usos need to, fight against new tag teams and things of that nature, and hopefully put on some classics on Monday Night Raw. Now, the next, also I just want to elaborate. There's nothing else for the Usos to do on SmackDown Live. They can go and face the New Day again, which will just be another good match. Nothing else is new. They can go against the Bludgeon Brothers, and and Chad and Gable and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Excuse me. Those are the only tag teams. So I do think the Usos need to move on and cement themselves on Monday Night Raw as a top tag team. Now, moving on, this is a team that is basically in the same place as the Usos. The Bar. The Bar needs to go to SmackDown Live, and the reason why they need to go to SmackDown Live is because they're in the same boat, similar with the Usos. They have beaten every single tag team in their division on their brand. The Bar are 14 time tag team champions. They could be 5-time tag team champions coming up to this next pay-per-view, but I do think that they need to lose and not become the tag team champions and go on to SmackDown Live with the blue brand. It needs to be something different, something new, refreshing for these tag teams because, like I said, the Usos and the Bar, they have cleaned house and destroyed and beaten every single tag team there is. Now, obviously, there were some call-ups on the Raw after WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw, so obviously there's some new tag teams, but I do think that the Bar still needs to go to SmackDown Live. Now, there's another tag team that should go to SmackDown Live, and that is the Revival. The Revival needs to go to SmackDown Live because obviously the back history between the Revival and the New Day. You remember when Kofi Kingston, I don't know if he tore his Achilles or something happened where he was hurt for a while. Obviously, the Revival, I believe it was Scott Dawson, I think, that got hurt, and then next it was the Dash Wilder. So these guys just keep on were getting hurt for a while and kind of hindered their push. So I do expect these two to be on SmackDown Live. I think it'll be a great fit, and especially to rekindle a rivalry that didn't really fulfill anything because it didn't really happen. They kind of just had like little trolling each other on social media, but they didn't actually have a feud with each other. So I think that the Usos I think that the Revival and the New Day can easily have classic matches just like the New Day had with the Usos. Now, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have Gallows and Anderson. Gallows and Anderson, they need to be on SmackDown Live as well. And the reason why is because, when you think about Gallows and Anderson, you just think about boring. You think about stale. You think about just being in a, in a stalemate, a stale line. Their careers in the tag team division is it's just pathetic, to be honest. Yes, they've won the Raw Tag Team Championships, but they haven't really done anything else. You have Gallows coming out talking about calling people nerds. You have Anderson; he's just there. It's just a lot of just boring shit going on with these superstars. So I do think that them going on to SmackDown Live and possibly, teaming up with Finn Balor and AJ Styles, creating a fraction or something along that sort would be cool to see. Kind of spoiled one of the superstars I think should go to SmackDown Live, one of the individual superstars in Finn Balor. But anyways, that's what I think about that. And the last but not least, the last other tag team I think that should go to Monday Night Raw is Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. That we have not seen these guys on TV in a couple of weeks, or at least a couple of months. We have not seen them, and I expect them to go to Monday Night Raw and start fresh. Now, also, mind you, I would love to see Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable go to Monday Night Raw, maybe have Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable break up as a tag team, and then have Jason Jordan and Chad Gable rekindle their, tag team goals and wanted to become tag team champions on Monday Night Raw, especially with Kurt Angle, apparently being his dad and blah 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 blah. You can easily work that way into a storyline and something along that sort. And then you can have Shelton Benjamin be a single superstar. Obviously, he's not like a high flyer anymore, so he'd be kind of more of a brawler or whatever the case may be. But I would like to see Shelton Benjamin be a singles competitor. So that's what I think about that, ladies and gentlemen, for the tag team division. Now, moving on, we have a singles wrestlers, ladies and gentlemen, and I will talk about all the superstars who should go to SmackDown. Then I will talk about the superstars who should go to Raw, and you should stay in tune for this because there's a lot of things that you may be surprised about what I'm going to say. First off, SmackDown, for who needs to go on SmackDown Live, number one is Seth freaking Rollins. Now, I know that Seth Rollins obviously just won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 34, but I do think that he needs to go to SmackDown Live. And the reason why is because, first off, it's going to be exciting to see him on SmackDown Live. And the potential with Seth Rollins facing AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Daniel Bryan, and other superstars is going to be great. It's going to be fun to see, and it's going to be awesome to watch, especially at these pay-per-views, see different storylines and things of that nature happen. Because if The Miz beats Seth Rollins at Backlash after Seth Rollins ends up going to SmackDown Live, now The Miz is going to be on SmackDown Live and Seth Rollins will be on SmackDown Live. And we already know about the a year, 2 years in the making, the biggest match in a very long time will be The Miz versus Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship. We all know The Miz's antics and going off on Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack. They need to bring that back, by the guys. They do need to bring that back. We should start a hashtag with that, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, that would be great to see. So I would love to see Seth Rollins come to SmackDown Live, but I would also love to see him lose the championship. So the Miz can go to SmackDown, and then you have The Miz versus Daniel Bryan going into the future pay-per-views. Now, moving on, we have Jef Hardy. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to be excited about this or happy about this, but I do think that Jef Hardy should go to SmackDown Live. Now, I know people would love and want the Jef Hardy and Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt to all be woken and all this and be together as a tag team or whatever the case may be. I just don't see it. First off, I don't see it happening, and I think that Jef Hardy is more valuable being a single superstar. I just do. I mean, I know that obviously I know he's going to be cool and awesome to see him be woken and things of that nature. That's going to be cool. I think that they could potentially, delay that for maybe a year or so. I would love to see Jef Hardy be a single superstar and go on to try to win a WWE Championship or something along that sort, and just have some good feuds before Matt and Jeff end up retiring. Obviously, we don't know when, but they're getting up there in age, so. It remains to be seen what's going to happen, but I would love to see Jef Hardy on the SmackDown brand. Now, also, we have Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Now, Rose and Sonya Deville, obviously, they were basically Paige's little lackeys. Paige was managing them because, obviously, her neck injury and things of that nature. Now that Paige is the general manager of SmackDown Live, obviously, she's going to want her two of her, people that she's taken under her wing since they've gotten to the main roster. She can easily put them in championship championship matches or put them in good positions in order to become successful on SmackDown Live. They can work that way and work that into a storyline or something along that sort. So I most definitely would like to see that happen. And ladies and gentlemen, the last person who should be going to SmackDown Live is Asuka. Now, Asuka does need to go to SmackDown Live. Why? Because I do believe that Charlotte needs to go to Monday Night Raw, and I think that you need to swap out great talent for great talent, and I think that would be a great even trade-off for both brands. Yeah, so that's what I think should happen there. And that is it for all the superstars, ladies and gentlemen, who should go to SmackDown Live. Now, moving on, we have superstars who should go to Monday Night Raw. Now, number one, obviously, right off the bat, is Charlotte. Now, obviously, the reason why I think Charlotte should go to Monday Night Raw is because of multiple things. First off, Ronda Rousey is on Monday Night Raw, and WWE's gonna want to tease that for about a year. Little teases here and bit, and just little tiny teases throughout the year to get people happy and excited for a potential Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte. That may even main event WrestleMania 35, ladies and gentlemen. We never know, but I wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen. Now, especially with obviously Charlotte defeating Asuka's winning streak, obviously they want Charlotte to look good, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte and Charlotte's the first, Charlotte and Ronda Rousey being the first two women to main event WrestleMania 35. I don't think that I would be that mad about it unless it was a trash match, and I'm not one to be biased. So, anyways, getting back on the topic, Ronda Rousey and Charlotte going against each other at WrestleMania and having Ronda Rousey defeat Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship seems like a realistic situation at WrestleMania 35. But and also because of the four horsewomen with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. I think that would be nice to see Charlotte on Monday Night Raw. And speaking of the four horsewomen, I would love to see Becky Lynch on Monday Night Raw as well. And you may say, well, why? Because she's been degraded to the lowest degree. She has been on SmackDown Live losing. She's either losing matches or she's getting written off TV for movies or whatever the case may be. And obviously, ever since she lost her SmackDown Women's Championship, and she was the first woman to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. But ever since she was the first one ever since she lost it, she has not regained it, and she has been on a downward roller coaster that isn't going up, that hasn't went up anytime soon. And I think that her being on Monday Night Raw and potentially, maybe later on down the line, maybe having fatal four-way matches with these four horsewomen, having a Survivor Series match with the four horsewomen versus four women for SmackDown would be pretty cool to see. So it'd be very, very interesting to see a lot of different scenarios that can happen with these four women. So I do think Becky Lynch being on Monday Night Raw would be a great addition to the women's division on Monday night. Now, moving on, we have Rusev. Rusev, he obviously needs to go to Monday Night Raw. I don't know if Road Dogg just doesn't know how to book Rusev or whatever the case may be. I think Rusev needs to go back to Monday Night Raw, and I think obviously Aiden English and Lana needs to come with him. That'd be nice to have Lana there with him as a manager role again, and have Aiden English there as well. So, anyways, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jinder Mahal. Now, Jinder Mahal, he needs to. You can't. Look. I want to tell y'all right now, you cannot hinder the Jinder. Jinder Mahal does need to go to Monday Night Raw. I think it's a good fit for him. He's been on SmackDown Live. He's done great, and I think he needs to go to Monday Night Raw, whether he is the United States champion or he isn't the United States champion, regardless. Obviously, because I said that Seth should go to SmackDown Live and he would be the IC champion, so it would just make sense for that. But yeah, I think that Jinder Mahal needs to go to Monday Night Raw. I think it'd be a great fit, and that's all about that. Now, moving on, we have Randy Orton. Also, I know people hate the Randy Orton Jinder Mahal feud, but after this feud is over, or whatever the case may be, I do think that Randy Orton needs to go to Monday Night Raw. And here's the reason why. The reason why is because Randy Orton, ever since the brand split, has been on SmackDown Live. And this has been about for like 2 to 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. So, he just needs to have a breath of fresh air and feud with maybe a Braun Strowman, even though he may get destroyed, and feud with Samoa Joe and other superstars. Maybe feud with Brock Lesnar for the championship instead of just having a regular little brawl feud or whatever case may be. Just something needs to happen different with Randy Orton. He's becoming stale and boring on SmackDown SmackDown Live. It's becoming annoying to even really see him, to be honest. I think him being on Monday Night Raw would help the fans enjoy watching Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton will be happy with it as well. So, anyways, that's what I think about that. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw predictions of who should go to SmackDown Live and who should go to Monday Night Raw. Let me know if you guys agree with me. If you do,